4th at 6 p.m. I'd like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our first item is the public comment. 5 minutes per person. Comments shall be limited to items of interest to the public that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the council. Are there any public who would like to address the council tonight? Seeing none, we'll move on to item number 2, Resolution Fiscal Year 1622, approving the submittal of the revised 2016 Regional Transportation Improvement Program to the California Transportation Commission. Melissa.
Thank you. So we will begin the presentation with an introduction as to where we left off at our last meeting on February 3rd. The last meeting, we took an opportunity to review the State Transportation Improvement Program process, the state transportation funding crisis that we're currently experiencing, and the impacts to our regional transportation improvement program. The recommendation at the time was for regions to consider cutting $1.5 million. That was the Calaveras Council of Governments' proportional share of a $754 million statewide cut. They also recommended that regions consider pushing back their projects to the later years of the STIP where the capacity issues become less significant. The strategy that the Calaveras Council of Governments directed COG staff to begin pursuing was the leave room to negotiate. We agreed to cut our construction project, but we also wanted to make sure that we left our project parked in the years that we needed it, so not to lose momentum on the project. So flash forward to February 8th, 2016, just shortly after the board's direction. COG staff received a notice from Caltrans District 10 that the State Route 4 Wagon Trail project was the recipient of a $10.3 million grant award through a State Highway Operations Protection Program innovative pilot program. So I'd like to congratulate Calaveras County and the Calaveras Council of Governments. This is ultimately a game changer in our strategy and our presentation to the CTC on our Regional Transportation Improvement Program. So flash forward to today. Staff has worked with the delegate committee that was appointed by the Calaveras Council of Governments as an advocacy group for the State Route 4 Wagon Trail project. We've also worked in coordination with Caltrans District 10 staff. Our recommendations to you this evening are for 0 reductions in funds to the Calaveras Regional Transportation Improvement Program. We're recommending that we keep every dollar on the State Route 4 corridor in order to deliver a more meaningful project, and a $1.5 million cut with the opportunity that the $10.3 million SHOP pilot program has given us would decimate our ability to deliver a meaningful construction project. The SHOP project schedule allows construction to move forward in 17-18. This is an aggressive schedule, but we're now recommending that our RTIP programming strategy align with the SHOP programming strategy. Therefore, we're recommending we advance our construction project to 17-18. So this is a big ask, and we are working with the delegate committee to develop some strategies. What we've determined is that if we don't advocate for State Route 4, no one will at this point at a statewide level, and we're lining up the resources so that we can deliver a meaningful project on the corridor. We've had some questions about the funding on the project with the $10 million SHOP Innovation Pilot Program. This pilot program is a great opportunity to break down the funding silos that typically exist within the funding programs that guide our projects. The SHOP program was able to combine 3 different programs into one to bring us $2.8 million in SHOP eligible activities with a balance of about $7.6 million that will help us towards construction of a meaningful project. And we say construction of a meaningful project because we've been working with the community on the development of the project approval and environmental documentation phase. We've identified a critical area for improvement, and that's the east of Pool Station curve to the Appaloosa Road intersection. The accident rates in the last 2 years total 22 with 1 fatality, and that's between 2012 and 2015. So we've identified how that funding source will break down into PS&E. We're asking for 2.4 in 16-17. We are working with a consultant to begin the RFP so that we can move into an allocation once we get CTC approval. Then we've programmed 1.3 for right-of-way acquisition, and then our construction, and this is our partnership with Caltrans. We're marketing and positioning this project in our regional transportation as one project, one voice with Caltrans, leveraging not only the different programs within the shop, but now the STIP to deliver that meaningful project that we've been discussing. And then we have the 2.7 there identified on those shop construction projects that'll improve operations and safety throughout the corridor. So our next steps are to present this strategy to get your direction to submit our revised regional transportation improvement program to the California Transportation Commission. That will be hand-delivered tomorrow. It's due by the 26th. We will be meeting with legislative staff to educate and inform our legislative staff about the Wagon Trail project, our project needs, and how this fiscal crisis is affecting us. We've also met with Caltrans District 10, as I mentioned, and hope to be meeting with CTC staff. We've developed a press release. The press release was issued today with the concurrence of our partners at District 10. We have a copy of that available for your review. And we will be following up on a regular basis with the delegate committee, informing them of our progress. And we are also preparing for the March 24th State Transportation Improvement STIP hearings, where our delegate committee, myself, and with the direction of Paul Stein, will be making our case to the CTC for preserving our project in the Regional Transportation Improvement Program. That is all I have in terms of an update. I'd like to turn it over to John, who will give an update on the meeting with the district today.
The delegate committee this afternoon comprised of Angels Camp Councilman Wes Colm, County Supervisor Steve Kearney, County Supervisor Debbie Ponte, myself, and our advisor, Paul Stein, along with Melissa Dietz, met with District 10's Dennis Agar and his staff and associate directors. We came out of that meeting feeling that it was probably the most productive and enjoyable meeting that we as of staff have participated in. Caltrans District 10 has worked very hard with our staff in looking at all the different alternatives available to get some funding for us to help complete this Wagon Trail project. The efforts made by Melissa and our COG staff in combination with the Caltrans District 10 staff in Stockton successfully were able to get this project allocation of over $10 million. This project is 1/10 of $100 million that was made available statewide, and for Calaveras County to get $10 million out of a $100 million allocation is nothing short of incredible. It's a tremendous opportunity for us to make it work. But we don't have it yet. We are working very diligently to try and revise the STIP and the CTC allocations here to let them know that in order to make this work, we need partnership also with the CTC staff and the CTC directors. So I appreciate the fact that we've had the opportunity to work not just with Caltrans District 10 staff, but also with Melissa's efforts and Paul's efforts with legislative advocacy, and I see a very productive month to come. I'm just very pleased that the Caltrans District 10 worked so hard and so diligently in harmony and in a collaborative effort with us to even make this possible. So it was a very, as I said, a very productive meeting, a very comfortable meeting in that we're all on the same page. Basically, it's one vision, one project, and both Caltrans and the COG obviously want to see this project happen. So, Paul, would you like to say anything?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Is it going yet? Okay, there we are. Well, yeah, I mean, I think you adequately and pretty well summed up our meeting today. I'll say this, I've been at many meetings in the past at District 10, and that's the most productive meeting I've ever been to. Usually when you go to District 10, they're going to come up with a lot of different problems that you have to address. And that's not to pick on Caltrans, that's just the way the process works. This meeting here, I mean, we came in and it was a total collaborative partnership. I mean, and they're shaking their heads the minute they see us come in. They really are keenly behind the innovative program that they put together with the shop. The $10.3 million, they said, was something they personally advocated for. There was several $100 million worth of requests, and they picked ours. And so we're going to be going into the CTC hearings with them fully on our side. They want to see a project delivered, the first phase of the wagon trail, and I just don't see any opposition coming from the Caltrans or District 10 folks at all. Our big push is going to be with the legislators. We're going to start ramping that up this week. We're going to be meeting with Dana Jorgensen, Melissa and I will, and we'll start laying the groundwork for how we're going to advocate for this project and get their support. The bigger problem that we heard today, Melissa Raggio was on a conference call with CTC Director Will Kempton, and he's basically laying a lot of the blame for the problems with the STIP at the feet of the legislature. So he's saying, gosh, we need your help. We've got a funding crisis in California. What are we going to do about it? So I think our project is in very good shape. I think we've got Caltrans support. It's inviolable at this point. But we need to figure out how to get legislative support, and that's what we're going to be working on in the next 30 days. So unless there's questions about that, I'd be glad to address them. But the meeting today was outstanding, best one I've ever been to, as far as Caltrans goes.
Thank you, Paul. At this time, I'd like to ask the council if they have any questions about the information that we have here this evening. What we are asking or being asked to approve is a revised STIP allocation set of instructions. Did I say that correctly? Any comments by council? Are there any folks in the public who would like to address the council on this matter? Okay. Seeing none, do we have a motion to approve the revised effort to?
I move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Kearney, seconded by Councilmember Edson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Approved 7-0. That is the item for this evening. So with that, I'm happy to adjourn this meeting. We will be meeting again on March 2nd at 5 p.m. at the Board of Supervisors. Thank you very much.
You have me for a day.
Quickest meeting ever.